Hello viewers! Ever wondered if changing your engine oil is something you can actually do yourself? Spoiler alert, it's easier than you think and you'll save money every single time. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to change your engine oil and filter safely, step by step, with a few pro tips to make it cleaner and faster. The car we're going to be using is the F30 chassis 320i, but the procedure is pretty much identical for all BMWs made in the past 20 years or so. And while these Beamers do have a reputation for being difficult to work on, doing the oil change is actually quite simple. But before we start, give this video a quick like if you want more car repair guides. It helps the channel reach more owners like you. Okay, let's see what tools and parts we'll need for this job. For a start, 5 liters or about 5.3 quarts of BMW LL01 approved 5W30 full synthetic oil. An oil filter kit, this specific one comes with O-rings we'll need and a new drain plug, and I'd recommend changing all of it. A can of brake cleaner to clean any leaks. Some rags or paper towels, and disposable gloves. Then a floor jack and a pair of jack stands, a 10mm hex socket to undo the drain plug, an oil wrench. It's best to have something like this one, which is specifically made for the BMW's oil filter cap. It makes the whole job easier, and plus, you can use the torque wrench on it. Next, the torque wrench, of course. It's best to torque everything to spec. Oil drain pan to collect old oil. These are the basics for a clean, factory-level oil change on your BMW. Feel free to pause here or screenshot for later when you're working in the garage. Now, once everything's ready, we can get to work. The first thing to do is warm up the engine slightly. Leave it running for a couple of minutes or take it for a spin around the block. This is because warm oil drains quickly and carries out more gunk. Next, locate proper jack points. My advice is to use the middle one, which is in the center of the front axle, to jack up the whole front side. Once the car is high enough, place the jack stands beneath these rectangular pads under the rocker panels and carefully lower the vehicle on them. Never go under a car that is supported by a hydraulic jack only. Now slide under the car and locate the oil drain plug. In this case, and it's pretty much the same on all BMWs, you'll find it behind this small trap door, meaning it's not needed to remove this skid plate, which makes the whole job easier. Undo this plastic nut to release the door, and now it's easy to see the drain plug. Wipe off any dirt around the drain plug, prepare the drain pan and then loosen up the drain plug by turning it counterclockwise with a 10mm hex socket or Allen key. Don't remove it completely before positioning the pan underneath it. Once the plug is easy to move, finish it with your hands. But be prepared to move it quickly out of the way when the oil starts pouring out. At this point, we'll leave the oil to drain for 10 or 15 minutes and go under the hood in the meantime. The first thing to do here is loosen the oil filter cap. This lets the oil drain more smoothly. Next, use the oil filter cap tool and ratchet to undo the oil filter. Once it's completely loose, place a paper towel around its housing to catch any dripping oil, remove the filter, and place the whole thing on a work table. Now remove the old filter paper element and then replace these two gaskets, the big one at the top and the small green one at the bottom. You can do this either with a thin flathead screwdriver or, even better, with a pigtail tool like this one. Fit the new oil filter, press it slightly until it pops on, and then coat the O-rings with a bit of fresh oil for a perfect seal and smooth fitment. Screw the whole oil filter assembly back into its housing. Start by threading it with your hand, and when it becomes difficult to turn, use the oil filter tool and torque wrench to finish it up. The correct torque here is 25 Newton meters. With that done, it's time to get back under the car, where you'll install the new oil drain plug. Again, thread it in by hand, and then use a torque wrench with a 10mm hex socket to tighten it up to 8 Newton meters of torque. This seems like a super low value, but that's how the car maker specified it. Next, pop the hatch back into its place, and then lower the car from the stands. Now we're ready to fill it up. These engines take approximately 5 liters of oil, but to prevent any eventual overfillings, we'll add 4.5 liters, check the oil level, and then add more if needed. The annoying thing here is that these cars don't have a dipstick, and instead we have to start the car, warm up the engine, and then use the vehicle's iDrive system to check the oil level. Simply go to Vehicle Info, then Vehicle Status, and finally select Measure Engine Oil Level. Click on Start Measuring, wait until the computer does its thing, and you'll have the reading in about a minute. In this case, it's halfway between min and max readings, so we'll add approximately half a liter more. Nice work! That's the hard part done. Now, 2 last steps. One is to recycle your old oil. Every auto parts store or recycling center takes it for free. What I actually like to do here is pour it into these empty oil jugs, as this gives me an opportunity to check how much oil was actually inside the engine. Remember, these cars don't have a dipstick, so this is one way to verify if that oil level sensor is accurate and doing its job as it should. And the other is to reset the service reminder. This is often forgotten, but it's actually that easy. Turn the ignition on, but don't start the engine. Press and hold the odometer reset button until the service menu appears, scroll to Engine Oil, and hold again to reset. If you found all this to be helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more detailed car maintenance guides, from oil changes to coolant flushes and beyond. See you the next time in the shop. Bye!